Each covets what the other has, and plots to take it.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's voiceover Lokioran here, and this will be the last of these scuffed ones where I had to redo the voiceover. So next episode on Kingdoms, we'll be back to normal. But sharp-eyed viewers there may have noticed a giant problem. Damien is now unhappy when Reynold uses his stress healing thing, which is very unfortunate for us. And really is kind of going to trip us up for a bit here. Now, thankfully, you know, we have included Barristan now, so at least the runaway is, you know, getting a chance to heal. But we immediately run into a problem here, where there ain't a whole lot for Barristan to do. Like, he can bolster, he can defend her, and then he's got to move up. And our formation really doesn't deal well with these characters doing that. So, you know, we're gonna have to get a bit creative here. Now, the good news is, if we survive and get to the inn and stabilize there, I can spend a bunch of resources and, for lack of a better term, unfuck the various things I've done to put myself in this situation. Like right now, when I don't have Reign of Blight, which I kind of wish I'd had, but, you know. We do manage to get rid of the rabies. So hopefully we will, and we've gotten rid of Hypochondriac finally, so Paracelsus should be doing a bit better. But we are in a pretty bad way as far as resources go. Now, the good news is we do have Barristan. The bad news is that unupgraded bolster kind of sucks. But we're gonna have to make it work, and at least the stress is being concentrated on the guy who's already melted down 50 times. So, you know, how much worse can it get? Do have to start hurting Damien a little bit here. And here I actually make kind of a bad choice. I think I do this hold the line, and then realize, like, oh, now Reynold can't, you know, do anything. And, you know, given that Damien sucks even more, I kind of have to, you know, figure out something here. And Nautical and Inspiring Cry is still a net 1 heal, so it does do something, but now, you know, Reynold is nearly blacking out from stress. And just, you know, kind of having to feel my way through this formation while also, like, kind of realizing that I've really scuffed myself here. Oh, right. I've forgotten that Damien can use Punish from rank 3, so that was like the one saving grace here is we could move him back there. But yeah, we're really not in the best way. And now we just look to try to patch up our stuff as much as we can. And if we have to choose, we'd rather Damien freak out than Reynold. If only because Damien's is, you know, a little less painful.
In crisis, no gain is insignificant.
More bits collected from the beast people. And we keep kind of running into this problem where our wagon's getting quite full. And here I make the decision to kind of free up some space. I think I ended up taking some stagecoach items. Oh no, wait, I have combat items I can like kind of redistribute. I end up ditching Strong Shackles, basically on the assumption that it'll come back. And yeah, Spacious Strongbox goes as well. Spacious Strongbox is a really good item, don't get me wrong. But it's one that, you know, I can't, like, make use of very frequently. Because I really do need it to be, like, you know, available. So the Stitcher's Kit gets bought because it immediately helps us. Could buy a Rumor, but that's all we can afford, really. I think we just, yeah, we end up just saving the rest of our money. And we're heading into a bunch more fights, which is again really what we want to see. Yeah, because or at least this is what I'm thinking when I'm playing right now. Is I really want to see these fights. I really want to be getting more, you know, driving more in materials in that I probably should have been trying to do earlier. Another woodsman fight's kind of frustrating because the woodsmen are just quite, you know, quite annoying to deal with. Not so much when they do, like, their, not so much when they do, like, their carve the toy or whatever. That stuff's not the problem. The problem is always the, when they start protecting the child. And now, you know, with that gruesome reflection, we're pretty much guaranteed to have a meltdown here for Damien. So, no sense worrying about it. And in fact, I think, yeah, I even make the choice of, like, alright, screw it. We'll just stress heal Reynold for 3 and, you know, do it on our terms. It really hurts our relationship badly, but, like, you know, we're going to be trying to get rid of the Flagellant, or put the Flagellant on the bench soon anyway. So we may as well just accept that he's going to be, you know, Angie for a while. And now we just really wait for work through our way through this fight here. We've got to, you know, thankfully we're not seeing a lot of protect the child, which is good because that does slow the fight down, which is the opposite of what we want. And I'm getting to use Fester, which is not a skill I've used a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, it's just not a skill I've made a lot of use of, which is probably a mistake. It's quite a good skill. But, you know, good opportunity to spend a crit token. And Barristan getting stunned is actually kind of weirdly okay with us. Just because he's, again, not configured to do well. So, like, currently him getting stunned doesn't really do anything. Like, he's already not useful. I do kind of hate how long this second Widow's been alive. You know, really feeling the lack of
a master stroke.
The lack of reach that I have. But we are slowly puzzling it out here. And thankfully, this guy, for whatever reason, has just been spamming Carve the Toy, which is fine with us. Though we can't seem to land a Blight here, which is a bit unfortunate.
The unrelenting application of violence yields morbid gains.
Inspiring Cry is still a net 1 stress heal, so it does do something. And we'll just kind of continue to waste Barristan's time, because he just can't really do a whole lot. Checking to see where Crush can reach from. And I actually think I probably made him... That's another mistake there. I should have just Magnesium Flared. I should have just gotten rid of the... I should have just gotten rid of the corpse. Because it is just kind of in the way. Now, granted, this does let Damien get rid of it instead, but I don't know that was better than just having Paracelsus do it and smacking the Widow more. And here, just contemplating, like, you know, the Barristan just ends it, but I realize, like, oh, I can kind of just stall this out a little bit. You know, I can collect some, try to patch up some of my wounds. I couldn't remember, yeah, my stress heal is up. So I can net down one more stress. Now, unfortunately, Reynold picks up a stress, which is sort of, you know, a problem. But we have successfully won another fight.
Cut down these nightmares and blaze the trail to your redemption.
Really missing the runaway here. As, you know, the Man-at-Arms is a really good character. He just needs some upgrades, and he just needs to not be himself, basically. And even though I've upgraded more and more, I swap it back out for Rain of Blight just so I can have some more reach. Because again, we are just kind of struggling to, you know, end these fights. Now, finally, for the first time in what feels like forever, we have Damien and the rest of the party actually aligned on something. Straight into feeding time, always a unpleasant prospect. But at least we have Bolster to sort of help mitigate some of that. And then the very kind of the Manor Lord, or whatever its name is, I forget its name right now, to just quickly move the goat back into range for me. And this maid is just hell-bent on being hard on me. Yeah, just multiple instances of just, like, messing me up here.
Anxiety foments insidious fear.
Now Damien's on his way to melting down again. And once again, I think I'm in a position where I just can't really even bother about it, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of just have to accept it, because there's not really, you know, I don't even really get an opportunity to, right? Like, he just toxics out again. And I'm really, you know, it's a pity the audio was lost for this, because I'm really resigned at this point. I'm just like, I just can't do anything about this. It's so bad, you know, but there's just no, you know, there's nothing to be done. You know, the stress gain is so high, and you know, I haven't upgraded these characters in a way that, like, lets me deal with that. But we do manage to land some good hits here. We are winning this fight, and that's ultimately the important thing for me, is that, like, the formation's still dealing damage, which is pretty important overall here. Maybe may seem like a bit of an odd choice to be healing Reynold there instead of the Flagellant, but Damien heals himself better than, like, you know, anyone else is gonna heal him. So he's better off just deathlessing, you know, and that just heals him for more than what anyone else is gonna do. Now, unfortunately, he did eat the corpse once again, so now we're gonna have to deal with that. We got that wonderful, hateful proc, which is just really not what we want to see.
A simple kindness.
Really making our lives hard here.
A breakthrough.
But thankfully, we do manage to armor break. And then dodge the Bilious Cannon, which is pretty big. So now, once again, we get to stall out just a tad.
What a welcome one, nonetheless.
Try to find any sort of stress healing we can still do. And just kind of stall and let the battle end naturally. And we're off and rolling.
Chaos must be met with unwavering resolve.
Safe route here is good, but the problem is that my relationships and stress are so messed up that it's like, it's not really helping. But we will do the best we can. Damien just wants to leave, and I just sort of shrug at this point. Like, I can't... Nobody's gonna like it. You know, there's no point worrying about it, basically. Another pair of goats, always pleasant. Nearly managed to get one of the goats down before he gets a turn. And we're really missing Holy Lance right now.
Lethality writ large.
But at least Bolster's sort of slowly chipping away at the stress problem.
Steady yourself.
But getting hit for half our health is not really in keeping with the desired outcome here. And I spend a healing salve, again, just because I'm wary of losing a character kind of randomly, and I know that we're already kind of struggling, so I just need some edges. I do think that's a really funny comment there. So I use Defender, and Reynolds says, you know, the scriptures have things to say about selfishness. And yeah, it's just sort of like a, hold on a second. It's selfish to do the protection skill?
Dissection.
So just a very funny unintended interaction there. Both goats gone at least. And Barristan's stress getting a bit out of hand, but at least he's sheltering the Plague Doctor. But now we do have to start tripping our stress up quite a bit here, because we're just so far behind on like stress. Fester doesn't work for me. That's okay. You know, that is what it is. Again, very, you know, it's a pity we lost the audio, because I am like, there's some frustration, there's some like, you know, pain and suffering going on here that in retrospect, it was bad, but it was survivable, you know, at every stage here. It's the lessons you gotta learn, right? The lessons you gotta learn.
Compassion quiets the howling
We do have, you know, Damien to continue to just like, you know, he can have as many negative relationships as, you know, care to have at this point. As soon as we can get him out of the calculus here, we're doing so. Checking to see the fight, you know, is in fact over, I believe. Yeah.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
And here we are. We're up to 120 in items, so we can pretty quickly upgrade an inn quite a lot. You know, our biggest problem is just going to be getting to that stage here. And as we head in, you know, it's time for another inn battle. And thankfully, I think we get what is a fairly mild draw here. You know, especially now that I've had like that, I've had that experience, and I know I have a better idea of how these guys work. I also know that I can just kind of beat these guys down, and they don't do a lot of like crazy stuff, which is nice. So could be better, could also be a lot worse. This guy's got some cool sounding voice lines. Very guttural, very fun. But now we get the joy of just watching my Plague Doctor get her head kicked in. Because it's just like, how many axes can the Plague Doctor catch with her face here? It's just the real question here. Doing some some quick calculation here, just trying to see if I can get multiple guys to die. Because when these guys die, they do get their Berserk thing. But they only like that doesn't. It still doesn't affect dots. So if you dot characters up, and then if you dot characters up, they can still bleed out, which is what kind of what I want to have here. And now now I've put Defender up on the Plague Doctor, which should tank at least a round of these attacks coming at the Plague Doctor. Excuse me. Yeah. Wonder if I should have Magnesium Rained there. I suppose probably not. Probably not worth it, just because because of like the fact that it was
A simple kindness.
they were still gonna do like Brutal Reach or whatever. They were gonna do their other brutal option. So the Plague Doctor does get hit, but she is relatively safe at this point. There's only the one guy that can still hit her, and I can sort of shelter her. But I go ahead and spend a healing salve just to be sure. Very conscious of the fact that this can go sideways in a hurry for me. Now, in retrospect, I probably didn't need to spend that healing salve, because I do have the Man-at-Arms to protect her, but, we're just going to be safe here. And I believe that ends the fight. Yeah. So there we go, another Indefended. This one with a very scuffed formation, but it was good enough.
Humbled by exposure and neglect, this ramshackle inn is a welcome sight, nevertheless.
Now we do have to fight at the Tranquil Frog here, but we actually have a full squad here, including an Arbalest. So comparatively speaking, I actually feel a lot more confident about this battle because we got like kind of a fully rested squad.
Fight harder alongside leaders they admire.
Yep.
Well done.
And I think if I remember right, this fight goes pretty well just on the grounds. Like these Arbalest characters, like they don't have they don't have a lot of skills, but what they do have does seem to be quite effective. And also the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter is pretty effective at what he's on about here. Once again, accidentally moving one of the Twin Axe guys all the way to the back. So now I'm just going to get constantly hit by him. So I realized, like, oh, this guy's not going to take any damage from the dart, but I can land the Blight. Now, unfortunately, not good enough. Both these guys are going to get their skills off. I can't prevent it, so I just got to kind of live with it. Not the biggest deal. Try to tank it up as best I can. Not a problem. Bounty Hunter just doing Bounty Hunter things. Very effective character. It's been kind of fun. I haven't played a lot with him in Kingdoms, but I have gotten to use him a lot more than I have in previous, incarnations. Pick to the face to put that guy down. Arbalest just to keep shooting here.
A brilliant conclusion.
Yep. Leper nearly gets it done there, which would have been kind of nice if he had. But thankfully, the Bounty Hunter has the reach to make that happen. So I believe we can just come hither this guy. Yeah, there we go. Does mean that these other two guys are both going to be berserking here, so we can't really hurt them, which is a little unfortunate. But we do have, you know, we can dot them up at least.
A small foundation of trust.
So we'll let the Arbalist do her job and quickly remove the corpses so they brutal edge with both swings rather than doing brutal reach, which is a lot more concerning. Yeah, brutal edge hits pretty hard, but at least it's hitting characters that are I'm comfortable being hit like that. And now we just, you know, kind of wrap the fight up. Close call for the bounty hunter here, but we do manage to keep him alive, I believe, because yeah, they target the leper. And another inn defended, thankfully here. Pick to the face. That'll end that inn battle. So we've sort of stabilized two different inns, which is nice.
The metal to meet this day's demands.
But now we have another siege up here, and we have characters that are pretty chewed up. Now I do note that the Wistful Willow does have a full set of defenses.
Moving alone in hostile territory.
So Grave Robber and Co. They're a little bit chewed up, but they can at least head over there. I've got all my other heroes kind of clustered in one spot, and I need to figure out kind of how to
anticipate,
you know, how to you know,
reposition,
cipher through what I want to do here. So I accidentally, you know, I go to move the Vestal, then realize no, I don't want to move the Vestal. I need her to rest here. Her and the Runaway. The Hellion and the Cultist are at least mostly healed up. But so now we finally get to spend some of our resources here, and I just quickly dump in.
We may see this battle through to its haggard end.
You know, dump in, you know,
an army cannot
what is this, 40?
Inadequately
yeah, 40 materials just to very quickly set that in up for reasonable defenses. Here what I'm doing is scanning around like, oh, what are all my other inns set up to do? Like what should this inn be? Like I have my Wainwright all the way down there. I have, you know, various other things. And then I think what I ultimately decide here is I just need to upgrade this inn to be can't remember, do I make it a physician? It's been a minute. Let's see what I choose here. I don't actually remember. Okay, I do choose the physician, or do I just do the basics here? Maybe I just do the basics. Yeah, I'm really kind of waffling here about what I want to do. Okay, I do commit to the full boat here. You know, kind of upgrade the. Yeah, I realize that I probably will eventually just need to upgrade this inn all over, but I put some resources into this inn so that I can then spend those resources to fix things.
But fairly priced.
Not a lot for sale here. 10 whiskey flasks though, quite valuable. We have a lot of money to spend to try to like stabilize our formation a bit. So I buy a couple here because I don't want to overspend, but I do want to like try to get some of my stuff here. Spend that Stitcher's kit to pretty dramatically improve my relationships here, and then spending some resources just to both heal stress and try to make sure that Damien and Barristan don't form a negative relationship, because Damien already has negative relationships with the others. Yep. So now we're going in, just kind of unlocking some skills to sort of free up Reynold a little bit. Get some upgrades in for him. I don't think, yeah, we don't upgrade Paracelsus, but we do also upgrade Barristan. Give him command, give him, yeah, I think we give him command and give him retribution, so he's at least, like, semi-functional. Give Bolster its upgrade as well. So he has an easier time of living in the back rank. And I have really liked having Defender, but, you know, if I have Rampart, I don't really need Rampart and Hold the Line. And then I think I also discard Defender just being, like, potentially not as useful. Or maybe I ditch Bash. I can't remember right now. Okay, I do. Do I ditch Crush? No, I do. Okay, I ditch Defender. I do think Defender was a pretty good skill for me, so I don't know that that's the right call, but it is something where, like, you know, it's probably worth thinking about. You know, kind of looking at the Plague Doctor, I do realize, oh, Indiscriminate Science. That's probably a plot-relevant, you know, skill to have handy here. Yeah, bring that in. Need to bring in Holy Lance, which means no more Zealous Accusation. And now suddenly my formation is a bit more functional. Yeah, we're okay with Damien being moved around. I think Fester has served its time, but I probably will swap in Acid Rain instead. But that's gonna do it for me here. Just a couple of more logistics things that you'll see, but ultimately we're on the move and trying to fend off the Beast Clan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
A bit of comfort on the road to damnation. The farms and fields of our kingdom, overrun with putrescence and rot.